Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity so that you can stay consistent with your marketing and reach more customers. My name is Penny, and I'm going to be your guide through this unique content development process. I want to teach you how to create engaging content to post, remarkable content for sales pages, email sequences, all of those things that you need for your marketing to help you reach more qualified customers. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love to see you hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. And below in the description box, you are going to see a couple of links. The first link that you see is for the Content Calendar Blueprint Program. This is an email-based training, and it's a comprehensive guide that's going to help you develop your content strategy. It's more than just understanding how to develop your content calendar based on how your business works, but it also does everything from helping you go to the next level with your business. If you're ready to launch a program or a product, you can always come back to the program and just click on the link, and it'll take you to the content calendar level that you need for your business. And the other link that you're going to see so that you can subscribe and join us in the Marketing Strategy Collective program. And you can personally go through this process of developing remarkable content in a supportive group online space and see what happens to your marketing strategy when you don't have to go it alone and you actually have a group of other like-minded business owners who you can work with who can help you with your marketing. So you see the links below and you know what to do to learn more. So today's video, we're going to keep talking about evergreen content. This month I have been doing a lot of work about evergreen content, including in our Patreon group of the Marketing Strategy Collective. I have been doing a deep dive into some specific evergreen content to help you even more with this type of content to reach your customers. And I get it, because there's like a ton of information out there about why evergreen content is so important and what it does to reach your customers and, all of this great stuff. But what I want to talk about today in this episode is I want to talk about exactly what makes your content evergreen and how to make sure that this content that you're creating is going to stay relevant and it's going to consistently bring traffic to your website even long after you've hit that publish button. So let's get started here and start thinking about exactly what is involved in evergreen content. Because if we think about it from the perspective of us as business owners, I am sure that you are most likely tired, because I know I was before I realized about evergreen, tired of creating content that you post up and then a couple of days later it just kind of feels like it just disappears, like nobody sees it. You're tired of creating all of this content, doing all of this stuff, and it's not even bringing you traffic. But imagine what your content strategy would look like if you had even just one single piece of content that continues to draw people to your website, that continues to generate leads, that continues to boost your SEO, your search engine optimization, for not just days or months after it, but years. I know this sounds like some sort of marketing dream, but it is impossible with evergreen content. And let me just say, I know this from personal experience. It was years ago, and I mean years ago. I don't even remember the date now. It's been so long that I've had this up there. But I have a blog post on my website that says 10 things you can do in 15 minutes for your social media marketing. And it's a really simple blog post, that just gives you 10 things that you can do, in about 15 minutes, everything, just small little things that you could be doing. And this particular blog post, the last thing I checked, I know it's at least 5,000 that I've had shares on that thing. It could be more than that. I haven't checked it in a little bit, but the last time I checked it, it was right around 5,000. And it consistently drives traffic to my website. It is consistently one of the main landing pages. As a matter of fact, when I check my Google Analytics, it is always up there, at least in the top 3. For the longest time, it was number one, number one, number one. And I constantly see it also showing up when I look at my analytics for Pinterest, which is another search engine. So this is the kind of content that I'm talking about. And I want to go through these elements that make your content evergreen and why this really matters to your marketing. And I'm going to use this blog post as an example. So when I talk about these specific elements, I'm going to relate them to this blog post so that you can see in real time how this actually works. So one of the first things that you need for, to make your content evergreen is something that they call timelessness. When it talks about being timeless, this is content that addresses a topic that remains relevant regardless of current events or trends or the season or the time of year. So when we focus on these subjects and they have this type of interest, your content maintains its value over longer periods of time. And timeless could also be, just something that is relevant regardless of like I said, seasons or what's going on with that. But it's examples of information that attracts interest all the time. So if we talk about this, looking back at my blog post, I said 10 things that you can do in 15 minutes for your social media to improve your social media marketing. It's really simple. And so one of the things that's really great about this particular blog post is that I'm able to talk about different types of social media platforms and different types of things that we do with our social media platforms. Like I talk about the bio, updating your bio information. I talk about, finding people to follow. I talk about engagement. I talk about things like that. I mean, these are just basic steps and things that we need to be doing in social media anyway. And so a lot of this information that I'm putting in one blog post is that it's got so much value to it because I'm giving you these little things, these little micro steps that you can take to give you micro wins, as a matter of fact, to help you keep moving forward and to make you feel like, hey, you know what? I do have time to do something. I am doing something to improve my social media marketing. I am helping to get myself out there. So that's where the value came into that particular blog post. And when you actually look at your content like that, and you focus on these type of subjects, your content needs to make sure that it will be appealing, has that kind of value that transcends, that type of value doesn't matter if you're reading it in the summertime or if you're reading it at Christmas time. This information is still valuable and it's still relevant. So the next element that you're going to do with your to make your content evergreen is value. What I just talked about. Your content must provide some kind of significant value to the reader, to your customers. It has to offer some type of insight, give a solution, information that, talking about something that's a common problem or a common challenge that people in your community have. Because this content is timeless, and it doesn't lose its relevance over time, this is the kind of content that provides value to your community. No matter what's happening with any of the latest trends, no matter the dancing or the singing or the, all of these types of trends that happen, your valuable content will still be valuable. No matter what's going on. It doesn't matter whether you're dancing or you're not dancing, or whether you're participating in something on TikTok or you're not doing it. That blog post that I talked about has valuable. And it allowed me to position myself as a reliable resource. And when you come to my website and you can read through this, and it became such a draw to people to come to my website, that one of the things that I ended up doing to add even more value to it was I created a content upgrade. And so what I ended up doing was I created 5 more options that you could do. And if there's a little box like there on my on the blog post where you can download these 5 other things. And so when I put all 10 of them together, and then I added an extra 5, so then I turned it into 15 social media things that you can do in 15 minutes to help you improve your social media marketing. And so what I did was I took that blog post that was already generating an enormous amount of traffic without me having to do a whole lot of work to it, because I had already made sure that it was highly searchable. And so because people were finding it, I now gave myself an opportunity to take people to get people to take action. So if you've landed on my blog post, you now have the option to take action and to get the other 5 steps. And so now you've got 15 steps, and you've got a printout of everything, so you don't need to keep coming back to my blog post to read it. But the flip side of it is, for me, is now I've got you on my email list. So if we think about it from that perspective, think about the value of the content and think about how you can utilize that value to not just bring people to the website, but can you get them to take some action and to move into your email list, or whatever the next action step, the call to action that you have. So the next element that I want to talk about has to do with what I was just sharing with you about searchability. Your search engine optimization, your SEO. It's about understanding that the keywords are so important, because that's what's going to help people find you. You want to make sure that you are using relevant SEO keywords in your evergreen content, because it's going to enhance the visibility on search engine. It's going to make sure that it continues to attract organic traffic over time. And we can utilize tools like the Google Keyword Planner. That's going to be one of those great tools out there that's going to help you identify what your target audience is frequently searching for. And it's not just the single keywords that are important that's going to go into your content. I want you to identify what I refer to as long tail keywords. Long tail keywords are a specific phrase. That's the word I was looking for. So a long tail keyword, different from just a keyword. So if a keyword could be social media, a long tail keyword is social media marketing tips. That becomes a long tail keyword, because it's one thing if I'm looking for social media, that's very broad, that's very general. But if I'm looking for social media marketing tips, that becomes even more specific. And I can narrow that down even more. My long tail keyword can be social media marketing tips for small business owners. That's an amazing long tail keyword, because what it is it becomes more targeted. Because if people are looking for social media marketing tips for small business owners, that is extremely targeted. And there's a really great chance that there's less competition of those keywords out there versus something like social media, because that is going to be an enormous amount of people that are utilizing that. And so the more focused you can be with your long tail keywords, the better chance that you can align yourself with your content and what people are searching for. So when we integrate these keywords into our content, it amplifies the effectiveness of your content. And when you add this into the content, it allows the search. Okay, let me start that sentence over again. When you bring your keywords into your content, it increases the searchability for your content to be discovered. And when the more options that you have to be discovered, that is what gets you to that sustained organic traffic. And when I'm talking about strategic placement, I mean stuff like making sure that, and it's not forced in there. It's kind of, I want you to make sure that it's naturally in there. So you want to put your keywords into your content, and that's like the title of a blog post. Also that URL title that shows up on, the Google search. You want to think about the headings within a blog post. You want to think about the meta descriptions. You want to think about the alt tags for your images. All of these things combined is going to improve your search engine rankings. And when we think about this from this perspective, we think about how people are searching for a solution to their problem. Our goal is to have our content show up. And if our content is video series, if our content is a blog post, if our content is a download guide or something like that, we want to make sure that there is SEO keywords, long tail keywords that are being strategically placed into that content. So when the Google spiders are out there looking for something that's going to answer this person's questions that they just typed into their Google prompt, we want to make sure that our content is discovered and it shows up. And these are the main things that when we think about evergreen content, it's something that is going to be consistently showing up. Evergreen content becomes more discoverable for people when they're searching for these topics, and that is what extends its lifespan and its relevance. And this, when we do these things, it not only drives consistent traffic, but it allows us to establish this content as a valuable resource for our business. If I go back to that blog post I talked about, that those 10 social media marketing things you can do in 15 minutes, that has become a valuable resource. And it is something that is consistently throughout years, and I'm telling you years, I wish I could remember the date on that, the original date on that, but it's been years that people are coming to my website. People are clicking on my links from Pinterest, are pulling up this blog post from a search on Google. These are things that are bringing people to my website. And so if we think about these three elements, the timelessness, value, and the SEO long tail keywords, all of these things are crucial for you to create evergreen content. And we incorporate all of these elements into this. This is when you have a great piece of content that's going to remain discoverable. It's going to be available for people when they're looking for a solution to their problem, and it's going to continue to perform well in the search rankings over time and over years, quite honestly, because creating evergreen content it's an investment in your business's future. If we think about this way, we think about how you can produce this type of content, and if you think about the ways that you can produce, valuable, timeless, optimized content, this is what's going to continue to engage and inform your potential customers for years after you've hit that publish button. So thank you so much for joining me today on this creative journey. If you've enjoyed this content about creative content development, I hope you'll hit the share button and let's keep this conversation going. And if you are just done with doing this thing on your own and have been looking for help with your marketing strategy, I would love to see you join us in the Marketing Strategy Collective group program on Patreon. You can get personalized feedback on your current content marketing efforts. We can help you with your sales pages, your launch email sequence. We can even help you work through your evergreen content ideas. And you'll get to participate in an online exchange of ideas with other like-minded business owners. We can help you maintain a steady flow of engaging content, help you learn whether your sales pages are going to reach the right people, all of these things together. And the best thing about this is you're going to stop working in a solo bubble and work in a collaborative space to get the help that you need with your content marketing efforts. You are magnificent, my friend, and let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.